One of the biggest challenges people have when it comes to interpreting wearable data is knowing when to zoom in versus zoom out. For the most part, viewing data zoomed out or longer term trends is most useful. But this advice is a little bit stale. It doesn't really tell people how to interpret data. Take sleep duration and consistency. Viewing monthly and yearly averages and typicals is much more appropriate than obsessing over changes in minutes every night. This means that most days you won't really make any adjustments solely based on wearable data. The same can be said for most common wearable metrics: resting heart rate variability, temperature, and respiratory rate. However, there are two caveats to this. One, if any of these metrics change unexpectedly, and this unexpected change is relatively large. For example, if your resting heart rate is normally 50 beats per minute and you see that it unexpectedly jumps to 60 beats per minute, this tells me that your body is fighting something, assuming the data is good. This change will most likely be coupled with an unexpected change in another variable. From an illness point of view, this is typically breathing rate or temperature. If, for example, your breathing rate jumps from 15 to 16 to 17 breaths per minute, this likely confirms that your body is trying to fight some sort of illness. Two, and the second caveat, is if you see consecutive changes in any metric. Let's continue with the same example that your normal resting heart rate is 50 and you see an unexpectedly large change to 60 beats per minute. Well, in this situation, if you saw a moderate change, for example, an increase of resting heart rate to 55 beats per minute, and you saw this on 2 or 3 consecutive days in a row, to me, this is an indication that you need to change something. However, again, if this is planned, like a period of high training load, pre-season, or just any period where you know and are intending on your body being under stress, that's okay. So unless you have a competition or you just have a good reason to continue pushing on that day, if I saw 2 to 3 days of consecutive out of normal data, I would tend to try reduce either training load or volume or training intensity. I hope that helps clarify some of the seemingly conflicting messages around zooming in and zooming out, and that both situations can actually occur at the same time. This came up in multiple conversations last week, so maybe this helps you as well.